What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 9th day of working on the house project. So yesterday we ended up cleaning, sanding down the tub, removing as much rust as possible. We ended up getting the goods in the mail today, which I will show you here in a minute. But yeah, let's just get right into it. All right, let's take a look at what we ended up getting. Don't judge me, but this is gonna have a purpose later on. Hopefully it works out the way I intended to or picture it in my head. And then we got this. I did a little bit of research, and after some reviews, this was the best product I could find online to do bath refinishes. It's called EcoPel 2K, something like that. Okay, so what I'm actually gonna do now is grab the acetone and remove as much of this dirt as possible from the tub, because I need it to get really clean for this next step. I mainly just want to clean really the areas that I'm going to patch up. If you didn't notice, there's a huge hole here now because it was covered by some caulking because this tub is falling apart. Okay, that's gonna do it for that. Now that's gonna bring us on to this thing, why I purchased this. Now this is normally used for cars to patching up holes with a combination of the Bondo mixture, but we're gonna use that here today for this tub. It should hold up. What I'm going to add is actually made for boats. So due to the high, levels of water the tubs receive, using the Bondo made for boats should also kind of do the trick, hopefully. If not, I will find out sooner or later. But this is a adhesive mesh patch that I'm going to use to cover up these holes. Well, not to cover them up, but I'm going to put them in these holes to kind of hold the structure of it, so when I apply the Bondo, it doesn't fall through. It should look something like that. Obviously, I need to cut it up and kind of fit it in correctly. Okay, I got my piece cut. This is also self-adhesive, so it'll help stick to the surface here. And that's why I kind of wanted to wipe it down and get rid of as much as extra stuff as possible. Cut some of this extra off that we don't need. Okay, I know this looks a little weird, but just bear with me, okay? Now I have to do the same thing for this big old hole here. This one might just be a little easier, probably just a square. Just kind of tape it up there. Let's just do that instead. Hopefully my plan works, but we shall see. But anyways, that's how I'm going to fix these holes, by using this. Let's mix up some Bondo and see what happens. Okay, I actually ended up cutting some new pieces because the other ones that lost a little bit of stickiness when I was messing around with it too much. But that's what it's looking like now. When it comes to this, so when it comes to this Bondo, this is the one I'm going to add. It's going to be short strand fiberglass reinforced filler. It is, used for boats, stuff like that. So this one should be good. I think this is the first one I'm going to add, and then later on I'm going to add the other one that I have to kind of seal it up. But the way this works, you're supposed to mix it up in a smooth container. Ideally you want a non-stick type surface, because this is very sticky and messy. And then you got to use these putty knives to kind of mix it up, and then use that to spread it to the area that you want it to. And this is the hardener. So whenever you throw the amount of Bondo you want, this is what you use as a hardener to harden it. And then you mix it up, and then that's when you spread it. So let's open this up and give it a go. I've seen other Bondo mixtures that are literally like just pure fiberglass, but this one seems to be a lot thinner. We'll see how it spreads though. Grab your putty knife, put the amount of you want, drop the amount of Bondo you want on your surface. Oh, it is very thick. Look at that. Perfect, I like that. Then what you want to do is you get your hardener, and then you just want to put a bead, a thick bead, just one line of hardener through the top. Something like that. I might have put a little bit too much, but that should work. The way you mix this, you're supposed to fold it into itself because you don't want to create any air pockets. So this is how you want to mix the hardener with the fiberglass Bondo. You want to mix this for a while until you make sure everything, until you're pretty much just satisfied and you feel like everything is mixed up. And probably after all that glue disappears from the hardener, then you know you should be good. But I would just keep mixing this for a while. Probably wear some gloves as well. I don't know why I haven't put on gloves yet. Okay, so once you're happy with the mixture and now you're mixing, you should have about a couple minutes. I really don't know how long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes before this thing starts hardening. So once you get it to where you want it, grab a good amount. Grab a good amount that you want to add, that you think is going to be sufficient enough, and we'll throw that on there. I should have probably mixed more because I think I'm going to add a little bit more in all the areas. Oh, it's already hardening. Look at that. Jesus. See, guys, I took too long. Now look at it. It's already hardening. But at least I managed to get this one in. So yeah, you have to be quick with it. This is kind of a waste now. I have to make some more. It's hardened so fast. That's crazy. Let me make some more, and then I'm essentially gonna throw some here in this area, and then obviously over there in that big old hole. Gotta be quick with it this time. A little bit on this hole. Like that. Around the edges here of this drain. Don't worry about me messing with it, because later on we have to sand this down anyways. Just get the areas we just want to get the areas covered, the main areas with rust covered, and then later on we'll fix it with the sanding. I don't want to get some of these threads though. This thing is looking crazy right now. Just have hope. That's all we can do right now. Just have hope that what I'm doing is gonna work out. Alright, I think that's getting hard now. I need to hurry up and get this corner done. I also have a couple spots like right here. Let me just do that right now. Okay, now the last piece right here. Grab all this. Grabbing all this. Grab another one. Come on. Oh God, I'm running out of time. I need to get this in there. I should have saved this. Ah, crap. All right, so essentially that's how I want it. But I'm actually now just gonna grab a little bit more, just kind of fill in a little bit on the inside, because I didn't really get to do that. I kind of just managed to put a whole chunk on the outside here. And that's what we're gonna do there. So I actually ended up using the scraper. It kind of took some of the excess off, because it's gonna be here sanding forever. So then you just want to give it a while for it to dry. All right, y'all. So I let this dry for about an hour. I highly recommend to get you some of these masks, because this thing stinks. It actually stank up my whole house, so I had to turn the AC off and kind of open up all the doors to let some of this smell out. But highly recommend getting some masks. Now after it finished drying, I'm actually gonna start sanding it down to kind of smooth out all the surfaces. All right, y'all, pretty happy with how everything came out. Take a look here. I missed this little piece right here, but I'm not too worried about it. And this is gonna get covered anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna patch that up either. Anyways, the next step, really, what I have to do now is kind of just clean this whole mess up that I have in this bathroom, because you want to clean up this whole tub and have as least amount of any type of dust or any debris as possible away from it. Because tomorrow I'm gonna start masking everything up so I can start getting ready to pour the refinish. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. So I cleaned up the area as best of my ability. Now we're just gonna grab some cleaning products and kind of just clean this whole tub down as best as possible. We're gonna use this Lysol Power cleaning gel, and we have some white scrub pads to scrub this whole thing down. Make sure we get as much as possible, because once we add that finish, it's like a glaze, and it's very hard to get any type of dust or debris or dirt out of it once we start pouring it. So let's get into this. Let me start from the back here, kind of work my way to the front. We're also going to clean the front as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. Look at that, that came out really good. It's really stiff. The Bondo stiffened this up. Now there's barely any bend to it. All right, so the inside is pretty good. Man, I really had to put this glove on, because any little cuts in your hand, this thing will really burn. All right, I'm just gonna let it sit here for a second, and then we'll just wipe this off. Start wiping this off. Well, all right, y'all, finished cleaning the tub. I think it came out pretty good, if I do say so myself. This is the first time I've ever done any of this type of work. Tomorrow we're gonna apply the glaze and refinish the tub. So we'll see how that goes. You know, there's a lot of room for error, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. All right, peace.